Welcome back to our show. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwu. And help me welcome my friend,
Ezemma. Welcome back to our sweet home, Africa. Once again, it's a pleasure to have you as our viewer. We have another topic today. Our topic today is living in financial bondage. Living in financial bondage, living in financial bondage. Africans all over the world, many of us are struggling. I know some of us have made it and they're living very comfortably, but many of us are still living in financial bondage. So that's why my friend and I were here today to give a little insight on what we know based on where we live in diaspora and some of the things that we've heard and seen when we were in Africa too. And then offer some advice that might help us to, get ourselves out of these financial bondages that we're in. So, my dear friend.
My dear.
I know you live abroad.
I do.
Where everyone thinks that money falls from a tree.
Not even the tree. All the trees, we have season.
Exactly. All right. So tell, our viewers what you know about living in financial bondage.
My dear, that's a very good topic that each and every one of us, I believe, I'm not saying us, many of us are living below maybe poverty level.
Exactly.
Because when you work 7 days a week, you are poor. When you work 24 hours a day, you are poor. When you have to wait to get a paycheck to pay your bills, you are poor. So that's where the problem is. So most of us here, majority of us here, fall into that category. So living in financial bondage is when people call it hand to mouth. From hand to mouth, you wait on a payday before you get what you want. And most of us, we couldn't help it. And some of us, we created it by ourselves, maybe due to too much competition. Because as Africans, most of us like to compete. Because if I see you have a Hummer, I want it by the end of the year. I would like to go buy it. Despite the fact that your own family setting is not the same as mine.
That's true.
And unfortunately, we are giving it to our children too. So most of our children compete unnecessarily. But the fact is, I think we compete within ourselves because the person that already bought that car, you want to go and copy. Maybe they live better than you. When it comes to financial setting in their home, you do not know how much their own mortgage is. Your friend moved to some kind of neighborhood. You want to go there because you think living there is going to produce money or make you earn more money. But unfortunately, that sets you into another bondage because you are now running helter-skelter, trying to be able to pay your bills. That being said, I'll call on my friend.
All right. Actually, I will just continue from what my friend said in terms of competition. Competition. I think that's what is really putting us in bondage. Because, it's good to compete, but you have to understand your own level and what you can do. Because let's start from, Africans that live in diaspora. Many of us here, we have seen how the Westerners live. When you look at how Africans work, many of us work 24 hours. And what surprises me is this. We work so much, but we have so little. So that means there's something that we're doing that is not right. Because here, it's not how much you make, but it's how much you spend. So when we start competing, especially let's go with cars. When you go around, most of the people that drive the most expensive cars are Africans. And it's not that it's not good to drive it, but if it is within your means, it's fine. But most of the time, it's credit.
That's right.
So credit. And the problem with credit is this. When we came here, we thought they were doing us a favor by giving us credit. Oh, you know what? Oh, come and get this, come and get this. And we thought it was a favor, but after a while we realized that it's a business venture for them.
That's right.
So they're making money off us because we walk and walk and walk and we buy these expensive things that we cannot afford. And we end up putting ourselves in financial bondage. So that's where the competition is. You know, buy what you can afford. And even when they call you to come and get a credit card to buy a Hummer, think of it. I mean, can you handle it? You have, and a lot of us have relatives in Africa that we're helping. So you cannot just because somebody else, your neighbor, bought a Hummer, you have to buy a Hummer. Or maybe a friend of yours at work bought a house that is maybe like thousands of, I can't just throw out a figure.
800,000.
Exactly. So you want to put yourself in financial bondage, but you don't know, just like my friend said, you don't know his or her own family, structure and situation. So if we can stop competing, let us be ourselves. Just buy what you can handle. Stop looking at others. Actually, no one is even looking at you. It's you that is competing within yourself, thinking that everybody else is looking at you.
That's right.
Nobody is looking at you. Please cut your coat according to your size. I'll throw it back to my friend.
that competing with yourself alone, I think that's what is throwing most of us, in debt. Because if you buy TV, brand new TV, you go and buy it on credit. Living room setting, you buy it on credit. The house you live in is on credit. The car you live in is on credit. And then everything you have, you charge clothing you have on, you go and charge it. You need to use this year to say, who am I competing with? And start cutting down so that you won't be mortgaging your life to go and make the money that you're giving to somebody else. So we need to stop competing with ourselves. We need to be self-content and appreciate what we have. So let everybody, me, you, any other person, we have to start cutting our coats according to our size, so that at the end of the day, we work like normal human beings. If there's anything like that, we work and be able to sleep on that in the house that we are paying for, instead of running from pillar to pole, looking for additional money so that we can support our negative behavior. So, my friend, it go back to you.
Okay, actually, I know we're throwing it back and forth, but let me just talk. I know I talked about credit a little bit because many of us actually did not understand it when we came to this country. And that's why we're sharing some of this knowledge, because I believe that whatever you know, share with somebody else, especially a lot of us from, foreign countries, especially Africans. We don't have the credit system where we come from. So when we came here, many of us dived into the credit system. Once again, let me just use this simple analysis to, analyze the credit a little bit, especially with our viewers that are in Africa, because sometimes they think that when you are in overseas, you're a millionaire. So when people buy something with credit card, let's say if it is $100 that you bought something,
if it's a ticket to
exactly. Not a ticket to travel. That one I'm analyzing with just a very small amount of money so that I can calculate it right. All right, so if you use $100 and which you don't have, and they said, oh, come and take a credit card for $100, and you use it to buy a phone. When you're paying back, you are paying back sometimes $150 or $200. So what you have done, you have taken money, but now you're going to pay the doubled amount. And the person that gave you the credit, that's how he makes his own money. So this is like a business for people that are giving you the credits. It's not a favor. That's what I want all of you to understand. Because when you go into it, go with the fact that you have a need. There's a reason for it, but it's not something for just a flashy lifestyle. Because you're going to put yourself in bondage. You're going to walk around the clock, like my friend said. Round the clock, round the clock, round the clock, and you will not enjoy life. Compared to the life in the Western world, many of them, they work few hours. They have time for their children. They have time to sleep in their mansion. They have time to walk around in the park, exercise. They have time to go on vacation. But our people are constantly walking. It's because we have put ourselves in so much bondage.
Yes.
That we cannot even enjoy life.
Yes, you're right. All
right, so that's with the credits. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm talking is part of the credit too. Like too much parties. Like most of the time, I know some.
Very good.
Sometimes you actually graduated from higher institution, or you're retiring. Whatever that the case may be, you want to have a party. Do it, how you can handle. If it's doing it in your backyard, if you have a backyard, fine. If it's doing it in your living room, fine. However you can do it. If you cannot afford to go and get a hall somewhere that you can pay, people are going to come late anyway, and then you're going to pay additional money to make sure people have at least time to eat and dance. So if you are going to do all that, we don't have to make it like if I don't come to your party is a problem. Mm-hmm. You don't have to make it like if I don't wear uniform for you is a problem. Because that's in a way too, we are putting other people in financial bondage. Because you do not know their own family setting. You don't know how much they make. For them to, come to your party on a uniform that you choose for them to wear for you. So we just have to know, like, if you ask anybody to wear it for you and they cannot afford it, they said no. That doesn't mean they don't like you or they don't appreciate what you're doing or they're not happy with you. It's just because the way their own pocket is. So everybody got to look and know if they can afford something or not. Let's start redoing things. Mm-hmm. Do it the right way. Somebody can wear a tie for you. I know I said that in our previous episode, but let's not make it like if you don't wear that material for me, that particular uniform, you are not happy for me. So my dear,
I love the uniform that you brought up, because actually, once again, let me compare it to the Western world, because what we do here is that whatever we see in the Western world that we think that is benefiting their people, and we bring it out so that it can help our people. All right, talking about uniform that my friend just brought up. I mean, we've lived here for so many years. They have weddings here. Americans have weddings. Indians have weddings. People have weddings. I have gone to a lot of weddings. Jewish weddings. They don't wear uniform. I just have to let you know. Mm-hmm. People go shopping and buy what they can afford. If they can go with $20 clothes, that's what they go with. But our own people, we have, I know we talked about it, uniform for wakekeeping, uniform for bad days, uniform. Exactly. So when you think of it, once again, we keep on complaining that we don't have money in Africa, we don't have money in this, but our money is in our pockets. The problem is that the way we're wasting the money, because look at those clothes. Sometimes you buy it, you wear it on
them on credit. It's not even that you have it.
Exactly. So our advice is this. Please stop the uniform competition. It's not taking us anywhere. And let me tell you what you're doing, which maybe many of us did not understand. You are enriching the people that are producing the materials. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't produce materials or they shouldn't be doing their business. But look at the poor people that we have in Africa. Even the ones that are importing those clothes. We need more things. We need food. We need shelter. Because we have to meet the basic need of life before we can even go to I call it the flashy side of life. So those uniforms, if you have to wear it, actually what they do, other people do here, which I have understood. I mean, I've understood from going to their party, is that like the Indians, the Chinese, the Americans, what they do sometimes, I mean, if you want people to wear blue for you, you said, okay, the outfit for the day will be blue. They call it a color code. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's blue. So everybody will bring their own blue outfit. Mm-hmm. Even if you have an outfit that is $1, you wear it. If you have $20, you wear it. That's how what they do if they really have to call for uniform. But to buy and buy and buy and buy and buy, that's where our money is going. And that's why we're working 24 hours a day here, living in financial bondage. Go ahead, my friend.
My dear, our people said, all we are saying is that we have to stop putting ourselves in debt.
Yes.
We have children, and now we are out here, we see that parents do live things for their children. What we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to do? Because most of our boxes or suitcases or closets. I think we have all the colors in the world already. So if people doing party now, maybe if I thought anybody is doing any function, they can say we are red or we are blue, like you said, that color code. So it's left for you to take what you already have.
That's true.
Depending how financial wealthy you are, if you can afford it, you go and buy a new one. But if not, you can wear anything like that. So when it comes to credit card, we got to be very, very conscious. Know that it's a borrowed money. Because all those times you borrow, you take it, you don't pay, it's over because they're coming after your money. So they'll come after you. So what we have to do, as we spend those money, let's remember and say, what are we going to leave for our grandchildren? What are we leaving for our own children? What are we leaving for our retirement? Because if you can go and buy a house that is 800,000, which is good. But if you miss payment, they're going to take it back from you.
That's true.
So I think the best bet there is that cut your coat according to your size. Buy what you can pay and have some change in case of rainy season.
That's true. And actually the last part is the copy. Because I know we talked about Africans that live outside Africa and the credit system. But what we have understood lately is that even the Africans at home, our brothers and sisters in African countries, are also living in financial bondage now, because what they do is like people bring these things, especially cell phones and this and this. I mean, they buy and buy and buy, and then you hear them, you know, I have to buy data. I have to buy data for my phone, and then it takes their money. Whatever little money that they have in their hand is siphoned out of their hand. And then the competition, even with the parties that my friend brought up. You heard about weddings. People are going extra miles to do weddings that they cannot afford. They borrow money. Sometimes they call their brothers and sisters overseas and say, send me money for a wedding. Here, what they do in the Western world, once again, some people have big weddings. Others have small ones. Even sometimes they fly to the island and they have their father-in-law, their mother-in-law, their mother, and their father. Why did they do that? People think that they did it because they don't want family members. No, because they don't have the money to have a flashy wedding. So whatever you can do, if you can invite 70 people for your wedding, do that. If you can go to the village and just call people in the village to come and dance for you, that's enough. So stop living above our means. Because it's putting us in financial bondage and then pushing our people into dubious lifestyles. So that's what my friend and I wanted to share with everyone. Go ahead, my friend. I'm done.
The copy. You said, let's start copying something good, something positive, something that don't have to enrich other people, something that can enrich us.
That's true.
Then, if we copy those ones, we will have peace of mind, peace in the home, peace of mind even at work. Because when you're working and your money is going everywhere, other than settling maybe in your bank account. Or at least you see something that, you know, you say, okay, this is why I'm running back and forth. So you're going to be grouchy. Let me use that word, because you're working 7 days a week, no rest, no vacation, nothing. So because of the type of lifestyle we put ourselves, we cannot stand on the table to hang something up, because if the leg of that table break, and we don't have another one, we cannot be able to reach it. Let's start cutting our coat according to our sizes, work less, get some rest. Life is only once.
That's true.
So let's treasure life and appreciate it. And know that we don't have a duplicate. We don't have to rest only when we are sick.
That's true.
So
thank you so much, my friend. Actually, we're going to end it with this little thing that my friend always say that I love. She says that a borrower is a servant to the lender.
That's what the Bible says.
Exactly. So let's not continue to be servants to others.
Oh, the lenders.
Let's just, cut our coat, like my friend said. I know we said it over and over, so that we can enjoy life. Because the problem is that the stress that we're getting from running helter-skelter, walking 24 hours is making a lot of us very uncomfortable. Irritable, that's the right word, actually. And then, they argue with each other. Even in the homes, they're not happy with their children and everything. So it's not that anybody did anything to them, but it's just the stress of too much work. So it's not what you earn that makes you rich. It's what you spend that makes you rich. So that's our episode today. And once again, thank you so much for watching us at our Sweet Home Africa, where we bring some of the challenges that we're facing in Africa and offer simple advice that can help us to rebuild our lives and then be able to have peace and prosperity in our land. Thank you so much.